When you hear the word gang, what comes to mind? When you hear the word gang, you must think of Crips, Bloods, Northerners, Southerners. Whenever you ever question the police as a gang, Webster's dictionary defines the word gang as a number of people joined together in order to intimidate someone. After hearing that definition, I ask you again, do you view the police as a gang? I think most people see police as being supportive, come to their rescue when you call them. While in grade school, police would come to assemblies and classes saying just say no to drugs, and when you call them, you see crime. These sound like supportive things to me, but my reality was different. As a child, I only saw the police arrest people. At the age of 10, I was supposed to be taken from the police when I was being removed from my mother's custody. At 13, I was at a party when the police raided with a dog and a little girl was injured. At the age of 14, I was taken into custody for shooting and I wasn't even there. To me, I didn't feel like I was being supported. And statistics didn't help my views either. By one estimate, black men are 2 times more likely in their lifetime to be killed by the police. In another study, since 2015, police have fatally shot and killed 135 unarmed black men and women nationwide. And at least 75% of the police was white. I had enough evidence. To me, the police were very much a gang, a rival gang. We was 2 enemies trying to intimidate one another. When you're in a rival gang, it's kill or be killed. One day, I was sleeping in the passenger side of a white Ford Pinto. With my gun in my pocket, for safekeeping in a neighborhood where there's only gangs and violence. I was awakened by a knock on the window. 2 officers asked me to step out the car. In my mind, I knew I was gonna die. This was the feeling I had that night. As I stepped out the car to get searched, the officer patted my pocket down. They yelled, "Gun!" I ran, jumped the fence. The officer close behind, chased me, backed me into the corner. Fearing for my life, I shot him. At first, I was proud. I thought about something good. We were rival gangs. Wasn't that what we were supposed to do? The homie said, should kill or be killed. We should kill the police. But when I did, I wasn't honored nor praised. Instead, he distanced himself from me. Asked me why. Why you do it? I was arrested on April 13, 1997 in Detroit for shooting Officer Tom Morgan. The officer lived, and I went to prison at 17 years old, faced with a life sentence. The truth of what I had done it settled in. I was confused. My whole belief system destroyed. I had a life sentence in front of me, and I was devastated. I didn't want to die in prison. And ultimately, after die here, I had to become a better person. I had to figure out a way to learn compassion and understanding. All these emotions I didn't have for people. So I went to groups in prison. I saw I had to deal with my own issues, my mother issues, my daddy issues. And be willing to forgive those that I felt don't belong in the past. Once I got through that, it was easy for me. It was easy for me to start forgiving, including Tom, a rival gang member, the police. Forgiveness became a process of taking the weight off. It released all my pressures. I have been feeling my whole life the shame, the guilt, the feeling of betrayal. But once I started forgiving myself, I started loving me. When I started loving me, I discovered I didn't need anyone else to love me. Loving me was enough. It's very hard when you're doing something wrong. It takes a certain amount of pride. And most people don't do that. Hey, I grew up not admitting when I was wrong. I thought it was shameful. But now, I'm a man. And I wanted to admit when I was wrong. I wanted to apologize to Tom. whether he forgave me or not, because this forgiveness was for me. And in this apology, a credible thing happened. When I admitted I was wrong, Tom admitted it too. I didn't know him and he didn't know me. But as soon as he heard my backstory and I heard his, we had compassion for one another. He saw value in me instead of someone trying to take his life. We saw one another as humans. I respected him and he respected me. I now have the support of both he and his wife, Kristen. We formed a strong bond and we share life experiences. We even speak together at groups of students, parents, professionals, so our story can make a difference in others' lives. I had to understand that Tom was a man. He had a family like me. He had a mom, he had a dad, bought the clothes, bought the badge. He was just a person. I had to see that first. It was said that violence is one of the most cohesive building components of gangs. I want us to drop our guns and use a more powerful weapon of change: communication and forgiveness. Let's get to know one another as humans. What it would look like if the police actually got to know the community and the people in it. Once you know a person who they is it ain't easy to pull the trigger, sitting in jail, prison, if you know, especially if you know this person's values and the morals that they hold. If I knew Tom and Tom knew me, what does that happen? What if we train the police in de-escalation? How does communities look then? We provide after-school programs where they have kids who are not on the street after school. They have a safe place to be. These kind of changes can be hard because it comes with uncertainty. It could mean changing laws, police losing jobs, or even funding. Because of the unknown, most people are not ready for change. But change will come when you are being honest and accountable and willing to forgive. This will promote growth, compassion, and understanding. Hey, if two individuals from rival gangs can come together and share compassion and understanding, I believe we all will, if we can all see one another's humanity. Thank you.